Welcome back, Weight Warriors. I'm Mike. I'm a fat guy who's trying to not be fat anymore by making lifestyle changes. And in this video, we just finished up week number 26 of my weight loss journey. That's right. I'm halfway through the year. Yeah, 52 weeks in the year. Just finished up June. Anyway, halfway through the year, and now I'm into what I call stage 2 of my weight loss journey, which is where I'm kind of upping my level from what was in stage 1. And if you're curious on how stage 1 and the calorie maintenance period between stages 1 and 2 went, feel free to check out my previous video. But in this one, we're looking at the future, and the present, and a little bit of the past, with again looking at how last week went. But again, what I lean heavily on with my weight loss journey is what I call the 3 keys to success. The key number 1 is nutrition, key number 2 is activity, and then 3 is accountability. So those 3 things in some form or another are always what I've been focusing on for this entire time. So how is stage 2 different from stage 1? Well, you can check out stage 1. Looking at stage 2, nutrition, I am trying to eat at a calorie deficit, and I'm calculating my TDEE every 2 weeks to try to make sure I have an average of a 500 calorie deficit per day. And then I'm also trying to hit a minimum on my protein intake. I'm trying to get at least 200 grams of protein in daily. That has been a bit of a struggle. If you saw my previous video, it's getting a little bit better, but still a challenge. I'll get to that in just a moment. So that's how nutrition is going. My TDEE for the last 2 weeks has been around 2,938 calories per day. And so with a 500 calorie deficit, I'm around 2,438 calories per day. So still a pretty reasonable amount of calories for my size and build. Pretty comfortable with that. So that's how nutrition is going, the first key to success. Now the second key, again with activity, I'm now trying to move at least 12,000 steps in a day, and I do have a fitness tracker thing to tell me how many steps I'm getting on average. And so I'm trying to keep that average above 12,000 steps a day. I'm also trying to do resistance training, get some time in the gym to engage my muscle, make sure I'm not losing any muscle during this weight loss period of my life, and hopefully, recomping my body composition a little bit as well. So my goal is, again, 12,000 steps a day, and weekly I'm trying to do 4 resistance training sessions in the gym per week. So that is activity. Now accountability, the third key to success, is you. So again, thank you for watching, and if you are a subscriber, again, thank you very much for that. Please like this video if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. It'll be a great time. So along with, obviously if you're watching this video, I got it out on time, which, that's one of my, the third key to success is that accountability. I also, along with accountability, have a nutritional coach and a personal trainer, excuse me. Sorry, Joshua. So I worked out with Joshua 5 times this week, so that went pretty well. Actually, we'll get into next week. But anyway, that's my 3 keys to success. Again, nutrition, activity, and accountability. So how did this last week went? So we're looking at June 26th to July 2nd. I would say it was a great week. Looking at nutrition first, I averaged 2,412 calories per day. So I did increase that slightly, but still had a calorie deficit on average of 521 calories per day. So excellent. I'm glad. I consider that a pass. Next, the goal with protein is I'm trying to eat at least 200 grams of protein. So a bit of a protein heavy diet, but again, trying to make sure I conserve as much muscle mass as possible during this extended weight loss period. So I still failed at that goal. It's better than last week. Last week I had 168 grams on average per day. This week I had 188 grams, so an increase of 20 grams per day, which I would say is good. I definitely improved in that category, but I still would consider that a failure. I did not quite meet the goal of 200. I'm still about 12 grams off per day. So I'm really going to try to increase that, get to that 200 point this upcoming week. Next, I am, again, and I'm going to share down here, you should see it, my nutritional report from last week, so you can kind of see the numbers that I'm going through here. Again, I'm not going to be sharing how I did before, like the what do you call it, like each and every day. I think it's more important to be focused on how the week on an average went, rather than trying to lock in on every single day specifically, because there's really, calorie cycling, carb cycling, there's different things that I'm getting into now or looking at that it doesn't matter as much on the day to day as it does on how many calories and really what your metrics or what the data is doing over a week is more important on average than a specific day. So that's how nutrition went for this last week. Looking at activity, again, activity was good. Every day was over 12,000 steps. In fact, on average this last week, I was at 13,580 steps a day. So that's great. I actually increased that over 200 more steps a day than last week. So again, great. That's a good improvement. And then for my resistance training, I actually did resistance training 5 times last week. I went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm doing a push-pull leg day split. And so did 2 push days, 2 pull days, and a leg day on Wednesday. Leg day is rough. That's a tough one. I'm getting more sore and kind of some energy issues, which I'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, I'm glad I got the 5 workouts in, but it definitely pushes me for sure. But moving on to third key to success here, which is accountability. Went great. Everything was good. I'm obviously, again, making this video, so that's a check. I met with my personal trainer, check. Met with my nutritional coach, check. And I got to reach out and connect with some of you weight warriors for our accountability group. Really had a good time with that. And so again, if you want to join that, join the Weight Warriors Facebook group. Link will be down in the description down below, but love to have you in there. So that's how last week went. And I think, again, there was a lot of wins. Definitely, I think the biggest win was getting my protein intake up to 188 grams a day on average. I think that's good. Really, 20 grams increase is great. I do want to get that over 200 this next week, but the biggest issue that I had is I lost this last week, and I will have to put that on the screen how my weigh-ins were each day, but I did lose 2 pounds this week, which is more than what I would like to lose on an average weekly basis. That maybe it's because I'm just now getting back into the calorie deficit, so that's okay. But really why that concerns me more is because my energy level was absolutely noticeably lower than it is average for me. Usually I don't want to say like I'm a high energy person, but I am definitely not a lethargic, low energy, want to go to bed at 2 hours before my typical bedtime kind of thing, which this week I had 2 days where I actually got close to 10 hours. Actually, one day I got 10 and a half hours of sleep, but I had 2 days where the other day I got like 10 or 9 hours and 50 some minutes. Like it was almost 10 hours, and I still felt like I could have been in bed even longer. So that's a bit concerning in that usually I'm really good at 8 hours, and so feeling that I need to have that extra amount of sleep, like I said, I'm not sure what I should be doing differently to accommodate for my energy level. If you have any suggestions, definitely let me know. I think my strategy for this week is I'm going to plan to get 9 hours of sleep every night on average, and so I am going to increase that, like I say, 1 hour more than I usually get, and see how my body responds, see if my energy level increases, because I definitely don't want to be fighting this for a long period of time during this calorie deficit period. And I know that increasing my total daily energy expenditure and decreasing my calories is going to make me tired, but this was pretty noticeable. So I want to see if my body does adapt to this after, I don't want to change anything in these first couple weeks. So I'm going to continue this week and just try to get some more sleep. But that also, like I said, adds a little bit of complexity because I'm supposed to be lowering my calories this week too. So I recalculated my TDEE, right? Because every 2 weeks I do that. So this week my TDEE came in at 2,917 calories. So that would be a cut of an additional, it's not that big of a deal, but it's an additional 23 calories, right? So I'm not ever really that specific, but should I really be cutting my calories even more while I'm having issues with energy and I'm losing, close to 1% of my body weight on a weekly basis? Probably not. So that's why, like I said, I'm going to do this for another week and see if I need to change anything. If you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comment down below, and we'll see you next week.